Hey, what's up? Hey, tonight I'm been thinking half the day about what to talk about, what to. Not that I'm like, oh, I need to make a YouTube video. I'm like, what am I thinking? What am I feeling right now? Rock Solid Syndicate is a place where we are battling areas that everybody's experiencing that's causing pain right now, in my opinion. We're talking about confusion, anxiety. How much of that is happening right now? Confusion, anxiety, uncertainty. You're not sure. You don't know. You gotta try to get a grip on what the deal is. Don't rely on external sources of feeling valuable and satisfied. That's up to you. Everything is up to you. You are an individual. No one is going to provide you, and no one owes you anything. This is not a money talk, okay? This is how you feel about yourself, your self-value. So the subject kind of is desire, control, ecstasy, and pain. Your desire, you need to understand. You need to not be ashamed. You need to understand what your desire is. I mean, we are physiologically programmed for desire. Okay. Mammals are. I mean, things that live are. Look at it. Look at the science. I mean, we're programmed for desire. And the neurochemical that gets exchanged in our brain. A lot of us know a lot about neurochemistry in the modern world because of the prevalence of, we can identify that mental illness exists and drugs exist, and mind can be altered from the perception of the norm. Okay. So there's a normal perception, and perception can get skewed through different avenues, through whether that be physical structures within the brain, whether that be experiences that have modified how the brain perceives existence and reality, and through drugs that alter perception, or any substance that alters perception, which everyone uses all the time. I won't say everyone, but basically, yes. Do you drink coffee? Do you drink caffeine? Do you take sugar? I mean, do you take pain medication? All this tells you a lot about the human brain and the human condition, and a lot of research has gone into it, so there's no point droning on and on about that. But it is about desire, control, ecstasy, and pain. So your desire is what drives you every single day, whether that be to achieve obtaining partners, or whether that be to achieve success or personal satisfaction through creation of art, or through your job, your contribution to society, whatever that is, or adventurous sides. I mean, there's so many ways that you can be driven and understand. You could understand the history of humanity and why we have certain drivers, but it's physiological. I mean, it's obviously physiological that we have desire. And then you have the social constructs that teach us what is acceptable to desire and what is not acceptable to desire. And we create a whole system of morality, a lot of which is built around if you inflict pain on other people, then you should pay. Or if you exploit other people, you should pay. Because we don't condone that. You can have desire, pursue your desire with the intent not to hurt other people, but to satisfy your desires. And so control is a necessary function, which serotonin has known to be a factor in playing neurochemically. But your emotions and feelings play a part in this physiological game that gets played, whether it be being stimulated or then being inhibited. So it's a give and a take. you do need to control your impulses. We understand, being in society, civilized society this long, historical society, a society that has recorded the actions of humans throughout time, and then we reflect upon that and we're like, okay, yeah, that is not acceptable, and that is acceptable, and whole societies get framed around these ideas. So, control. You have to have a level of self-control to be a human being. Okay, you cannot live in a state that only caters to your every desire. Okay, physiologically. We are programmed to survive and live, and that raw piece of us is so important. That is like the flavor of life right there. Your desire and your ability to chase your desires and achieve desire. What is the culmination of desire? It's ecstasy. You know, I don't want to get, this is not mystical or any sort of thing, but that's what the opiate system inside of your brain neurochemically does. So it's a resolution to desire. You have achieved a level of feeling that's so intense that there's a resolution, and you can apply that to sex. You desire, there's resolution. You feel a deep feeling of satisfaction and calm. And then what? Then what's next? Reinvigoration of desire, and you chase it again. So you could see how a drug addict gets caught in a loop of chasing dopamine, where they love the rush of the dopamine desire, and then the resolution of that by either pushing it way too high or way too far, that they feel in a state of ecstasy. They were just being flooded with dopamine, that they feel resolution, but then they come back to reality, and that such intense, prolonged feelings of that. I mean, you're not designed for that, so the pieces in your brain that are designed to process that information, intense pleasure, starts to get damaged, and then you have a harder time feeling happy. So you're bound to get depressed. It's going to take intense, messed up things to make you feel happy. And that's why you find yourself in the painful situations that you find yourself in when you push pleasure too far. People that have been addicted to drugs can relate to this so well, because they feel, and besides that, a lot of substances have side effects beyond that, but it's for the same reason. You are making your neurochemical system operate in a manner that it's not designed to, and there are repercussions for that. You can't just do that. You can't push that to that level artificially and expect your body not to have a reaction to try to control that. It's not a balance. Then you can't complete the cycle. So there is a cycle. There's a cycle of being in a lot of different areas. You can apply this to a lot of different areas. That's the hardest part to understand about living, is that it's compartmentalized to a degree where you have so many different areas of your life that you can operate in. So many different areas. And you can be really messed up in one area and then not in another. You can be not achieving, not satisfying the desire you have in a certain area and be frustrated, but working within other ones. There's so many different areas, and if you can't coherently focus on each area, there's going to be levels of pain in all these different compartments that you have to deal with. And when you can't see it, when you can't visualize the whole picture, then you start to have some real problems and issues. that you're inevitably going to have to deal with. You're going to experience pain. If you push pleasure too far, you're going to experience pain. If you, I guess if you have no desire, if you are without desire, then where are you going to find yourself? You're not going to be doing much. You're going to be curled up. I mean, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be doing nothing. If you have no desire, you're going to feel pain. So what does life teach us? Pursue your desire to seek pleasure and resolution in each phase. Build upon that. You can continue and feel acceptable levels. If you manipulate the system, there could be repercussions. If you inflict pain on others, eventually it will catch up and you will feel pain. So you have to regulate, and you have to identify your desire, because if you don't know what you desire, if you don't know what you want, you're going to feel pain, because the system will say you are doing nothing, you are contributing nothing, you're not gaining experience, you're not growing as a person. Society expects you to contribute by communicating your experience, by providing value to the rest of us that are living here with you. And as a system, as a whole, we work together and produce. But we cannot say every person is the same. The system treats everyone perfectly equally. That should not happen. Because then what are you doing? You're restricting creativity. People need motivation to feel that desire to break out and go to an extreme length to really bring some real value to society. They can do that without inflicting pain, without it's providing some serious value to a broad range of people. Not that some governmental system is in control of every aspect of your life. That is an authoritarian system that we know by looking at history does not work. And we know we cannot have an anarchist system where the pursuit of pleasure above all else is the law. You have to have a balanced system where there are real rewards for desire, achievement, providing value to the whole that are going to drive innovation. And then there are repercussions for causing your fellow people pain. You feel pain. That is what keeps things balanced. And some level of balance is what's required. If you are starting to get out of control, you better work on the side of yourself that is controlling. If you are uninspired, you need to focus on the area of desire. So you build that desire. So you want so much, you need to figure out how to control that desire. Okay, you need to build desire, passion. If you have no passion, you're in a bad place, worst place. You're gonna be depressed, no doubt. You need purpose. You need passion. You need to desire. You need to know what you want. You need to know how to take the totality of your life and focus each area in the most efficient way possible. Be able to look at each area, know how you feel about that area, and execute a plan I got some problems here. Here we go. Execute a plan to achieve ecstasy, basically. I mean, and there's never an end. There's never a final ecstasy. Ecstasy is the reset button. It's like achieving a milestone. That's how I will explain ecstasy. You've achieved a milestone. You temporarily feel completely satisfied. And that is the importance of milestones. You feel completely satisfied in a state of utter bliss And what that does is hits the reset. And now do not forget to reinvigorate your desire. That's next. Immediately after ecstasy, reinvigorate desire. Reinvigorate desire. Okay, if you have achieved a goal, set another one higher. That is the secret to all of it, I believe. It's okay to desire. Okay, don't make it fake though. Don't modify your system to, if you want to augment, sorry, I'm not totally against the manipulation of your system through some substances. We do it every day, whether that be coffee. I mean, that's the least harmful, in my opinion, to your body, side effect wise. It's okay to enhance. It's okay to do enhancements. You need to seriously consider the repercussions, though. If things have side effects, you need to reevaluate. You need to, I feel like people who have addictions, there's different ways to have addictions. That when you're taking different kinds of drugs, I feel like, that's where addictions stem from. There's other addictions, there's gambling, there's sex addiction, there's all kinds of addictions, but when you're having a drug addiction, which is prevalent in society today, people are chasing cocaine and amphetamines, and they're chasing the dopamine rush of feeling just complete ecstatic desire, which actually is just, it's artificially produced, and they don't even have a reason to have desire. They're just feeling it. They get to feel the boundary of it. The real magic happens when you are able to push that limit of desire, not desire, push that limit of ecstasy through your own pursuits of desires you have within life, natural human life. That's the most satisfying. That's when it really matters. So, again, our greatest limitation is our own vision of desire, of what we want. And then when we go about getting what we want, we need to deeply consider the ramifications of our actions and how we are not to be inflicting pain on other people for our own satisfaction. That's disgusting. You need to be providing so much value that people are just rewarding you for being within society and sharing your experience. And we can do that because there is so many perspectives to be had within this life, and everywhere is different. People are different, and it can really be a great thing. But I think people have struggled to understand any of that, to put it in the right perspective. So, and that's why I'm here battling against confusion, anxiety, suffering in general, from not being able to comprehend all of the complexities that are going on around you in your life. You need to compartmentalize everything in your life, and I'm telling you, it sounds ridiculous that you should just 3-ring binder your life. I mean, you need to take all the serious areas that you want to focus on, and you need to put the knowledge you have about that information in that spot. Because I'm telling you, I'm an avid, maybe it's me. Maybe I don't have the best memory in the world. I don't think everybody has the best memory ever. You lose fidelity in your memory. Tell me that's not so. Go ahead and tell me that's not so, because it is so. You lose the fidelity of the experience without having an easy way to refer to it. So, how I feel is that you should build a way to reference back to all of these things. When you learn something, you need to put that information into a physical form and in a manner where you can refer back to it, so you can reinvigorate your understanding or feeling about that particular area of your life. And you get to choose what area of your life that you want to focus on the most. And then you can start building. Then you're like, oh, okay, I know all these areas, how I feel, where I stand. And then I know what I want. I know how I want to build from here. That's the key. That's the most important part. Building from where you're at. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter if you've hurt so many people in your life through your own selfish desires. It doesn't matter at this point. If you're at the point where you're ready to start accepting the fact that it's okay to have desire. It's entirely okay. But you have to pursue your desires in a way that does not inflict pain on other people and is not going to inflict deep future pain for you. Because you can go have all the pleasure and all the fun in the world. And we know that when you go on a binge of that nature, you're setting yourself up for future pain that's going to come, that's going to wake you up and say, hey, you can't live like this anymore. There's balancing repercussions in life. So you have to do it in a controlled manner. But you can still get out and rise up, innovate, and bring it to levels that haven't been done. You can still do that. But don't do too much at once. You can't do too much at once. You need to build. You keep that foundation strong and keep building, you're going to really get somewhere. If you just try to fly straight to the sun, you're done. You're going to crash and burn. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's going to catch up. That's just fundamental how I see it. Desire, control, ecstasy, and pain is a relationship to all those deep physiological relationship, and it's the truth. So get in touch with your desire and push it and set your milestones. Because if you set your milestones lower, maybe you can achieve more ecstasy. Maybe you can be more inspired. That's really the message. Don't hurt anybody. Why? Why exploit? Why do that? Why not provide? When I say provide value, then on the emotional scale of it, provide positive feelings to other people. What does that cost you to look at a person, decide what you like about them, and then try to make them feel good about that? Because you like it about them, why can't they like it about themselves? You're giving them a way to, love themselves more. They're going to reward you for that through loyalty. It doesn't do you good to tear other people down. It really doesn't. It's foolishness. For your temporary feeling of superiority or ongoing through infliction of pain on other people and making them anxious, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Those people should have no social standing whatsoever. So, that's the end of my discussion. I appreciate you listening to what I have to say, as always, and you have the good rest of your day.